Here's a very interesting question that I don't think a lot of people really think about. Is how often should you be maxing out and how often you should be PRing? My answer to that is going to be every single day, depending on what you do. We're going to keep this simple. PRs are essentially the way to measure progressively overload. It's that simple. The reason why you always want to do it, depending on the lift, is because you want to try to get stronger than before. And the only way that you're going to get stronger than before is by truly pushing yourself to do better.
So there's a speaker right behind me and it distorted the whole audio that I can't even fix it in post. But essentially what I'm saying here is I'm tracking my workouts using an Excel sheet that each row is a day and each column, where the columns are up and down, is set 1, set 2, and set 3. And that way I'm able to look back at what I did last time when I did that exercise. And my goal is to beat that number of reps with the same weight. And at some point, whenever I get to a certain rep range, let's say my goal is to get 12 reps with 110 pounds on this machine. Once I get 12 reps for 3 sets, I'm going to go ahead and up the weight. So now my next goal is I up the weight with 120 pounds and I'm only able to do 6 reps. I'm going to continue doing 120 pounds until I'm able to achieve 12 reps. That is progressively overloading. That is essentially PRing and maxing out every single day. You're pushing yourself past your limits by going to failure. And so you essentially should be training to failure every single day. You should be pushing yourself to PR every single day. It may not always happen. You may have some days where you're unsuccessful. You may do 2 reps less for a variety of reasons. Maybe you got less sleep, you didn't eat properly, you're really stressed out, you're more tired than before. And so there are going to be times like that where you're not able to push yourself in PR every single day. But the goal should be to PR every single day on your lifts.
Well, unfortunately, I can't do more reps than last time on this second set, which sucks. But it also has been quite a while since I've actually done this machine. So my progress kind of dipped a while, not by a lot, but enough for me to not be able to push myself to do as many reps as before. So since I'm doing my workouts out of order and I'm kind of just throwing things around, I already train my biceps. Usually this is the first exercise that I'm doing when I first get to the gym. This is now like the 3rd or 4th exercise that I've done. So I'm a little fatigued and I'm a little tired. So I'm not as strong as if I were to do it at the beginning of my session. I bet you're wondering why people say you shouldn't max out and you shouldn't PR every single day if it is essential for progressive overload. The reason people say that is because people do not know how to do it properly and don't apply the rules to their training accordingly to their training to add to that. So if you're a powerlifter and your goal is to go for strength, you're not going to be PRing just like I showed you in the last video or scene, whatever, of me telling you what I'm doing for one exercise. All right, so powerlifting or going for strength in that aspect, that requires a lot of neurological connections. It is a physiological aspect when it comes to neurons and the nervous system. That's how you get stronger. Getting bigger and building muscle. Now that is completely different in the aspect of it is focused on breaking down the muscle or stimulating the muscle for growth. Now they do overlap in some aspects, but generally when it comes to the nervous system and training that is pure, knowledge-based and adaptability of the nervous system to pull the weight. Sure, there is some muscle adaptation, well, actually more than some, but it is not the same muscle adaptation when it comes to building muscle, all right? Those are two different things. They're not completely different because, like I said, they do overlap, but that is the case. So if you're trying to squat, bench, or deadlift, you probably would not be doing the same thing as this movement or principle that I was just showing you in the video. You'd be doing something completely different. Let me know down below in the comments if you want to know that, or if you disagree with what I am saying, let me know down below. I would like to have a healthy conversation. Prove me wrong in some aspects if I am wrong. If I'm not iterating this correctly, let me know down below. But that is my training principle on how I train. I train to failure, and I try to progressively overload I try to progressively overload every single time by beating the numbers from last time. And if you want to find out how I track my workouts completely, check out this video in this window right here, or somewhere, a link, I don't know. If the video is over, it's probably like a window here, but if it's not over, there's going to be a link somewhere up there that will take you to that video, and I'll explain to you how I'm tracking my workouts. It'll help you build it as well. And just check it out if you want to know on tracking without actually paying for a subscription of some sort. You know, I'm not much of a sweets person, but when I am craving some kind of candy, my usual go-to is like Reese's Cups. But I also know that if I'm ever craving candy, I know that I'm missing some kind of nutrient. Like I need a supplement. I remember seeing this post, and I don't know if it's 100% accurate, but if you're craving this, your body really needs this. And if you're craving Reese's Cups, your body is low in potassium or something like that. Like, I don't know if that was ever accurate. I like to think it is, at least as far as like, hey, if you're craving this, you're probably missing this. And I feel like that is accurate to an extent, because that's that's our body's trying to tell us we're missing something. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not much of a sweets guy. I can walk down the aisle of like candy every single day, and like 1% of those times I'm gonna be like, I could, go for some candy. And I feel like that's when I'm like thinking I'm low in some kind of nutrients, but also try to take advantage of it, because like I don't eat candy that often, which is why it's so delicious when I do eat it. It just makes it more meaningful because I don't have it that often. Oh shit. Now, the part that sucks when I eat candy, specifically chocolate, I like break out my forehead. Most of the time, that's where I break out. I get like a giant zit, or on my nose, and I'm looking like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And usually that happens around like Christmas time. I guess, during the Halloween, there's like candy available, and like I won't really munch on them because they're there, but like every once in a while, because they're there, I'll grab them. Like I'll grab a candy, just because it's Halloween, the holidays. But usually I don't really eat anything.